The slap echoed louder than the clatter of plates and forks. It cut through the warm chatter of the diner like a crack of thunder, freezing every sound for a split second. Lily's head snapped to the side, her glasses sliding crooked on her small face as she staggered back against the vinyl booth. The world blurred, not just from the sting on her cheek, but from the familiar, crushing feeling that came with it, the feeling that told her she was invisible, unprotected, and alone. Lily was 19, with a gentle smile that appeared even when she was scared, and hands that trembled slightly because her muscles didn't always listen to her the way she wished they would. Cerebral palsy, the doctors had said when she was young. To Lily, it just meant life moved slower and sometimes crueler for her. That morning, she had gathered all her courage just to come to this small roadside diner by herself. Her mother was working a double shift, and Lily had promised she'd be fine. She wanted to feel normal, even if just for breakfast. The boys who sat across from her had noticed her the moment she walked in. There were 3 of them, loud, restless, bored, and hungry for amusement. At first it was whispers, then snickers. Then the words came, sharp and careless, tossed like stones. "Why's she eating like that?" One of them muttered, not bothering to lower his voice. Another mimicked the way Lily's hand shook as she lifted her spoon. "Maybe she needs a bib," he laughed. Lily tried to ignore them. She focused on the steam rising from her soup, counted her breaths the way her therapist had taught her. In through the nose, out through the mouth. She told herself it would be over soon. Just eat, pay, and leave. But bullies rarely stop when silence is their only consequence. One of the boys stood up, swaggering over to her booth. He leaned in too close, invading the small bubble of safety Lily tried to keep around herself. "Hey, can you even hear me?" he said, waving his hand in front of her face. "Please?" Lily whispered, her voice barely louder than the hum of the refrigerator behind the counter. "Just leave me alone." That was when it happened. His hand flew out, not hard enough to knock her down, but hard enough to humiliate. Hard enough to remind her that, in his eyes, she was weak. A waitress gasped. A man at the counter clenched his jaw. A woman looked away, ashamed. But no one stood up. No one said a word. The boys laughed, high-fiving as they returned to their booth. Drunk on the power of being cruel without consequences. Lily pressed her palm to her cheek. It burned, but worse than the pain was the quiet. The silence that told her this was normal, that this was what the world did to people like her. She didn't cry. She refused to give them that. Instead, she slowly gathered her things, her movements stiff and unsteady, and slid out of the booth. Her soup sat untouched, cooling and forgotten. As she passed the register, she placed a few crumpled bills on the counter, her fingers fumbling. The cashier opened her mouth, then closed it again, outside. Lily sat on the bench near the entrance, trying to calm the storm inside her chest. Her phone buzzed with a message from her mother. "You okay, sweetheart?" Lily stared at the screen for a long moment before typing back, "Yes, Mom, I'm fine." It was a lie she'd learned to tell very well. She didn't notice the low rumble at first. It blended into the background noise of the highway. But then it grew louder, deeper, stronger. The ground seemed to vibrate beneath her feet. One by one. Motorcycles rolled into the parking lot. They were impossible to ignore. Chrome gleaming in the sunlight. Leather jackets marked with patches worn smooth by years of wind and road. Helmets came off, revealing faces etched with lines, scars, and stories. There were about a dozen of them, men and women, their presence filling the air like a gathering storm. Lily's heart began to race. She shrank back slightly on the bench, suddenly afraid she was about to be in the way again. The diner door swung open, and the bell above it jingled weakly, almost nervously. The bikers walked in together, boots heavy against the tiled floor. Conversations died mid-sentence. Even the boys who had laughed earlier fell silent, their bravado fading as they took in the newcomers. The leader of the group was a tall man with silver in his beard, eyes that missed nothing. He paused just inside the door and looked around slowly. His gaze lingered on Lily outside through the window, her hunched shoulders, her red cheek. Then it shifted to the boys, still snickering under their breath, trying to look unbothered. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. Coffee, he said to the waitress. For all of us. They took over the long table near the center of the diner. The air felt different now. Heavier. Charged. Lily watched through the glass, unsure why she couldn't look away. The silver-bearded man stood again, after a moment, coffee untouched. He walked calmly toward the boys' booth and stopped. He rested one big hand on the table, the wood creaking under the weight. I saw what you did, he said quietly. One of the boys scoffed, trying to laugh it off. Mind your business, old man. The biker smiled, but there was no warmth in it. That girl out there, he continued, nodding toward the window, is someone's daughter? Someone's whole world. And you thought it was okay to hurt her because you could. The diner was so quiet Lily could hear her own heartbeat. Another biker stood up. Then another. Chairs scraped against the floor as the rest of the group joined their leader, forming a silent wall behind him. You've got two choices, the man said. You can apologize to her. Right now, sincerely. Or you can sit here and think about why you didn't. Fear finally cracked through the boy's arrogance. The one who had slapped Lily swallowed hard. His face flushed. He looked around, realizing for the first time that his actions had weight. That cruelty had consequences. They stood up slowly and walked toward the door. Heads down, like children called to the principal's office. Lily stiffened as they approached her. Every instinct screamed at her to run, to protect herself. The boy stopped a few feet away. His voice shook. I'm sorry, he said, barely meeting her eyes. I shouldn't have done that. Lily searched his face, looking for mockery for another trap. She found none. Just fear and something like shame. Okay, she said softly. It wasn't forgiveness, not yet. But it was enough. The bikers watched until the boys got into their car and drove away, tires squealing in their haste. The silver-bearded man turned to Lily and crouched slightly, so he was at eye level with her. Are you hurt? He asked gently. She shook her head. Just embarrassed, he nodded, understanding in his eyes. That's on them. Not you. Inside, the diner seemed to exhale. People began talking again, but their voices were different now, quieter, more aware. One of the bikers placed a hand on Lily's shoulder. Another brought her a fresh bowl of soup. The waitress apologized through tears. For the first time that day, Lily felt seen. They stayed for a while, the bikers and Lily, sharing small talk, stories of the road, stories of hard lives and second chances. Lily learned that many of them had been lost once too. That strength didn't always look loud or cruel. Sometimes it looked like standing up for someone who couldn't. When the bikers finally left, engines roaring back to life, Lily stood a little straighter. That hour changed her. It reminded everyone in that diner that kindness is a choice, and so is silence. If this story moved you, please comment on this video and share your thoughts. Let us know where you're watching from and what kindness means to you. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Be kind always. 'Cause stories like this matter, and the world needs more compassion, now more than ever.